This is my brand new ASMR channel. God knows there's an oversaturation of that on YouTube, um, but I'm adding to the pile, so deal with it, I guess. But you're here, so let us discuss this video and this channel. So this is the introduction video, and here I'll be talking about, what I'll be doing with this channel, and just general things like that. Uh, and so, getting it out of the way, one of the things I really wanted to, make sure with this channel was um, not really doing things that like I don't personally like as triggers. I've been listening to ASMR since like 12, 13 years ago, getting started with like Heather Feather. Um, I hope she's doing well these days. But uh, basically, there are a lot of triggers, despite my long time listening, that I just never really got. And and by got I mean I never really liked. And in some cases, I really hate some triggers. Um, but uh, well, I guess I should talk about some of those. Um, you can tell that I'm not used to this sort of thing, but I've always wanted to create and make videos. Although even as a kid, when I wanted to be a YouTuber, I didn't really expect to be making ASMR videos. Um, but here I am. Either way, some of the triggers that I don't like and will probably never do unless this channel somehow gets somewhat big, and I would consider even 1,000 subscribers big. Um, but things like scratching, generally abrasive sounds, or like higher pitched sounds like glass tapping or metal tapping, I can't stand those. Um, I don't know how to describe it, but I don't like water orb sounds or like dripping sounds. I like, well, I guess sharper sounds, but not high pitched sounds. So, but either way, my general like all time favorite is just speaking, and mouth sounds, trigger words, things like that. Of course, there's the classic, of course, popularized by Heather Feather, or at least introduced by Heather Feather. I remember the video where she was telling the story about it. I don't know if she was truly the first one, but I'm pretty sure. I don't care enough to do research either way. Yeah. But yeah, so um, yeah, this isn't going to be a very special video. I'm not putting a ton of effort into this because the real goal of this is just to get this out there, and hopefully people see it, and if they come across this channel, it's brand new. Um, Obviously, I need ideas. I want to know what other people hear because or want to hear. I'll be making ASMR, not, well, for myself, not necessarily for myself to listen to. I feel like that'd be kind of weird. Um, but still, I want to make the kind of ASMR that I would personally listen to. But it can get easy to run out of ideas when it's just one person. So hopefully, like I said, I can get people coming across this and they decide they maybe want to stick around. Um, I guess what else should I talk about in this video? I'm sure people will want to know what I'm using. I'll probably put it in the description at some point. The channel is still a very big work in progress, but I am using two SM58s, Shure SM58s in stereo, of course. I got a thrifted Steinberg audio interface for $15. I was originally using an M Audio Air 192, but the I had to have the gain like almost at max, in order for it to like pick up anything, and there was just like a very narrow window for which I could actually record, and anything below that was just completely inaudible, and anything louder than that or higher than that in gain would just absolutely clip everything. Um, but this new interface works way better. And you know, I know that there are other mics for this. Of course, there's the very popular Blue Yeti, but I really like, or well, I almost exclusively like stereo, or you know, binaural. I guess this isn't technically binaural, but you know, it gets the job done. These mics aren't necessarily made for this kind of purpose, but it does work. Um, I guess I'll switch to doing, you know, a little more quiet, more up close. But one of the things I've always liked is, um, you know, spatial awareness in audio and in videos, not just having a speaker sitting like in front of the mic the entire time. Um, you know, there has to be panning, there has to be, you know, further away, and then right up close. Anticipatory tingles are really good. Um, but you know, I don't really get, I don't get triggered by mono videos, or even if it is stereo, if you know, people aren't, you know, getting close and getting far. And basically, I mean, I mentioned Heather Feather a lot in this video, but like, she was the original person who got me into this. Of course, I've expanded, you know, in the many years since then to other ASM artists as well. But you know, channels like and I should also mention I do have a stutter, so, and I can also tell when I'm about to stutter. But channels like Chronico, um, and you know, others similar to that, or who record in a, you know, similar fashion. And you know, I already had one Shure SM58 for, you know, music, and just have a nice mic for talking and stuff. But I realized that um, you can get very up close sounds with it. And I've never really seen much ASMR with, you know, like a Blue Yeti, which would be cheaper than having two of these Shures. Um, but you can't get that like real up close sound and like proper spatial awareness. Of course, this isn't like on a 3D level, but you know, it's, yeah, I already had one, and so it was just, you know, it made sense to get a matching one for this, and so you know, it works. Um, I don't really have a whole lot else to talk about in this video, but yeah, definitely if you see this and you know, you're interested in what I might be able to create, please leave a comment saying what you want. And you know, especially since I'm a brand new channel, I'll see it and I'll reply to it, and very likely we'll do it. Of course, as long as you don't ask me to like do scratching, or you know, tuning forks, or you know, things like that that I mentioned I already don't like. But like I said, if I, you know, get like a bajillion subscribers, of course, then I'll have to probably switch it up a little bit, and you know, appeal to a wider audience. But uh, yeah, I know that things like scratching are very popular, but I don't know, I just don't like it. Um, but yeah, so I guess that'll do it for this video. And you can also tell from the thumbnail, this is highly work in progress. It is currently 3 a.m. I am running on like 4 hours of sleep from the previous night. So I guess we'll see how this turns out. But yeah, I've still got to figure out a lot of branding for the channel. I don't really have like a solid intro or outro, or anything of the sort. But you know, I do have other YouTube experience, going back many years, but I've never done anything like this. It was always like gaming and other things. So, um, but yeah, so that'll do it for this one. Like I said, leave a comment, let me know.